Thank you.
It's recording. Yeah, come in. Hello. Hey there, how's it going?
Austin Young,
Allison and JD.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Sorry, I surprised you. The other guy got called away, so I'm one that's here today.
Alrighty, you mind if I have a seat?
Yeah, please sit down.
Did Mr. Kais or Alejandro, did he fill you in kind of on the meeting at all that we had previously at all or anything like that?
He doesn't give me much detail. He told me that you've got an automated solution and I don't really have any other details.
Sounds good.
So I don't know. He didn't tell me enough to convince me that, but you can tell me what it's about, right?
Yeah. Well, first things first, how was Thanksgiving?
That's great, actually. We just had a new baby, so it's kind of crazy around our place.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks very much. How's yours?
It was good.
Yeah.
First Thanksgiving as a married man, so it's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you too,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, it was
Big
a lot-
year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That sounds like it. Her place, your place?
It was at her place.
Nice. All right. Well, hopefully you made a good impression on those in-laws.
Hope so as well.
All right, Austin. Tell me what you've been talking to Mr. Case about.
So kind of the things that we kind of uncovered with this first meeting, it seems like you guys just kind of have a bare bones operation. There's not really a lot of automation at all in the warehouse as there is now. You have about 4 pretty old fork trucks is another big concern, especially with you guys having the retail side and the commercial side. As with overhead doors, I mean, you're gonna have heavier equipment and things like that. But truly what I need from you with this follow-up meeting is I just need to walk through the warehouse and be able to see truly inside the place. You can tell me everything because nobody knows your business better than you do.
Right.
But we need to have a team come in and see the warehouse, basically get a visual and then come back and then kind of give the overall of what we want to change. So
Gotcha. So have you worked with Mr. Case about, I mean, some of the things you want to implement?
yeah, so some of the things that we talked about is with the racking, like if you're picking orders, it just depends on the amount of space. We could do like a case picking system. And essentially what that is, we'd have like a centralized area of high density storage where we have these little robotic shuttles come and grab the material, pick the orders, and then it would go to like a conveyor system. And then you could either have it go all the way to outbound and then pick it up with a fork truck. So that's, you're basically minimizing touches, minimizing human error. So
that sounds like it'd be a full rebuild of the warehouse then, though.
it could be a complete retrofit and we could do it so you'd have, just depends on square footage, we could do it in, typically we do about 40% of the warehouse where we have a case picking system. So you'd still, we would obviously have to cut off percentage of that warehouse to do the retrofitting, but you still have space to operate out of roughly 50% of your warehouse.
Gotcha. Well, we use more than 50%, so it sounds like if we'd have to have not only the cost of the upgrade, but then the cost of doing some temporary storage while we're doing that. Did Mr. Hayes talk about the what parts of our warehouse would work better for this, or was he looking kind of waiting for that walkthrough you mentioned?
I think it was more waiting for the walkthrough. We didn't really kind of discuss where at in the warehouse we wanted to go. I mean, he talked about how there's a lot of really long cable in the warehouse that we have to worry about too, and the yard and things like that. So it's really just getting to the walkthrough.
Gotcha. Well, I guess have you implemented this type of automation for other warehouses?
Yeah, we haven't done it specifically in the like garage door industry, but we've done it at the Buckle warehouse. That's our biggest operation. The software and everything in there is all put in by us. So that's a very large scale operation. There's a lot of moving parts. So we are capable to handle what you're going to throw at us, even though it's a new industry.
Sure. How long have you been operating at the Buckle? That's a big warehouse.
So our software and our implementation's been in there for 15 years.
Really? Wow. Okay. Didn't realize they had the automation available that long.
Yeah, automation's been around a lot longer than it seems. I mean, we've been in operations since 1953, but the operations warehouse management, that side of things is about 20 years, 25 years old.
Gotcha. So would Mr. KZ talk about whether we would, because we have a couple locations for our warehouses. This might fit better for maybe smaller products, because our larger commercial overhead doors, I'm not sure if how big that,
That case picking system wouldn't be able to do that. That's where we'd want to kind of talk about more of the fork trucks. Like we have a rental fleet available. With everything that's going on in the supply chain, it's kind of hard to get parts and pieces for the fork trucks. So currently, as it sits, we do have a fleet of about 12 trucks.
Okay. So it might fit maybe a little bit better for like the residential side of our business than the big commercial side. Good deal. Have it, I mean, compared to human just pickers that we have now, like, you know, Joe Smith goes back and picks it off the shelf and brings it up and scans it to keep track of our inventory. Does this automated system ever, I mean, how often is it picking the wrong thing? I mean, is there much error?
There's not any error. It's all from a software perspective. So essentially, if you're going to get some small amount of error, the system's going to shut down itself. That's where we have our 24/7 software team. They're located in town as well, but we also have an operations team. They, like, the software team wouldn't come into the warehouse and actually do the hands-on. We would set up the system so that our support team would be able to touch the coding, see inside. We'd set up cameras in the system so they'd be able to see inside the operation, so they could basically change everything from their desk at home.
Really? So you mentioned that type of support thing. So because we probably need support, especially definitely software wise, because no one in our company has any experience with this stuff. So we couldn't, if it went down. Right now we have our own techs. If you know, even if forklift goes down, we can kind of work on those things. But this system would be totally beyond us. Is there support, you said, locally available?
So yeah, we have an operations team in-house, and kind of before we go live, we would send in someone to, sorry
about that. Sorry, I'm already drinking water.
No, it's fine. Someone would come in and they would actually train your techs, so they'd actually understand the system. So we like to say that our team essentially becomes an extension of yours. So we're going to be with you through, obviously, the construction and the implementation. So our team's not going to leave until the job is done. And if something comes up, the team will be there. I mean, within 24 hours. We have support in Kearney, but I mean, if you have another facility somewhere else, I mean, we can get someone on a plane and they can be there within 24 hours. So we have the capabilities to do things like that.
Also, how big is your guys' team as far as support?
So our operations team right now is about 6 people, and then our software team is 15.
Oh, okay. Wow. And so who would I be working with if we, like, who's gonna be on will the same person come on the warehouse walk and then also help design the system and help us implement it? So how's that handoff work?
So kind of what the walkthrough would look like, it would be me and someone from the operations team. Primarily the operations manager. We'd want them to, I mean, they've been around systems, they've seen warehouses before. I mean, they actually used to work in a warehouse, so they kind of understand what it's like. So it'd be us two, and we'd walk through the warehouse. And then support would just be strictly, we have like a call number. So you could call that number whenever, anytime, any day of the week. We always have someone working from a support perspective. Operations team, you could go through me, you could go through the contact with the operations manager. I mean, it just, there's open doors everywhere.
Actually, I really like to have like a contact, because I don't, you know, I don't like tech support. I don't like calling 800 number. I like to have, you know, my guy, because in our warehouse right now, I know if I call that manager, he manages the whole warehouse, he's the answer guy, I don't worry about it. But if we change up this whole system now, if I call him, he's just gonna call an 800 number to get it fixed, or how's that work?
So like it wouldn't be an 800 number. So essentially kind of how it works is like that main number would call all the support team, and whoever's available at that time would just answer. But if you're looking for just one person to call on, I can be that contact.
Yeah. You're not gonna get distracted by the next warehouse you gotta go with this with, are you? Cause like I said, I like to have one person that I know I can count on and know I can contact.
I'll be there.
All right. I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty partial to the way we got it going though. It works. Like, why do I need to spend a bunch of money on something new if it works as far as I'm concerned?
I mean, it's just a matter of labor. I mean, are you having people call in sick? And that's kind of one of the added values we have when we sit down and kind of sell you the solution is we do a full-time employee breakdown. So you're getting to, we'd sign an NDA and you'd send us like how much you're paying your employees. And then we basically, from our experience, we could basically say, so you have 4 pickers in the warehouse now. Typically, we cut it down by half. Just depends on certain operations. I mean, we have a lot of beer beverage partners that we work with, and typically a lot of those guys have about 6 pickers. Depends on how many shifts, but we typically cut out 2 to 3 pickers about every time we implement a system. And that is gonna, for your return on investment, that's gonna be huge. I mean, the automation system isn't gonna call in sick or have babies, things like that. So I mean, it's just like, it'll always be there.
That helps. I mean, how long does downtime happen? Because I mean, if there's an issue with the system, or I don't know, do you guys have like a system update that has to happen? Or I need an internet connection?
So there'd be a server put in that we would supply everything that would go into that, and we'd monitor that as well. So there's no worry from the server perspective. And I mean, there's always going to be downtime, but we like to say that the downtime typically won't last more than 4 hours.
So you think that this automated system, we look at what we're paying our guys, how many people are working in there. You guys would help do like cost analysis of how long it would take to pay for this new system?
We would do a complete return on investment.
Okay.
Factor in depreciation, the full-time employees, everything goes into that.
What do I need to commit to get to there? I mean, is there a service fee set up to do that at least? Or I mean, what do I have to commit to get that?
There's nothing you have to commit to from that at all. That's just the service we have. So it's not like the only thing we need for that is just information. Just understanding what people are getting paid, things like that, how many shifts, how many people, things like that. So
I got you.
From that perspective, there's nothing we need.
Well, that's helpful, at least pretty low entry point for us, just to get you guys some information and do a little walkthrough. So do a walkthrough, get you the paperwork information from our side of the system, and then we get that cost analysis, return on investment analysis. I guess I can make a pretty informed decision from that point.
Yeah, and what typically we like to do, like we'll meet with the design team and we'll give you like mock-ups of like how we'd have the warehouse. And we obviously want you to have input on that. So it's just gonna be, we're just gonna give you something based on experience of what we think would fit the best, and you can change as much as you want. So it's completely up to your control.
I like that.
So it's completely customizable. All the code and everything is all specifically designed for your.
How about the operating system? So like our inventory software now, we would probably have to transfer all of our inventory over into your guys's software system? Or does it work together?
Yeah, they can work together. It's the code can speak. As long as the code can speak, it'll work. So there's no issues from that. So if you have a system you're currently working with that you like, we can implement our our software completely.
Perfect. So they just piggyback together. It's not a full.
No, it's not a full
Switch over.
transition at all. That doesn't have to be.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, I wish Case had told me a little more about this. It actually kind of sounds a little interesting. I didn't think it was going to be a worthwhile, cost-inducive thing to go automated, but I don't know, maybe it would be. I'm just trying to, because it's been hard to hire enough warehouse techs lately for sure.
Yeah, labor's been an issue. I
Yeah.
think about every industry. So that's kind of why people are looking, I mean, automation's obviously expensive, but you don't have to worry about it calling in sick and things like that. So that's a big.
You guys gonna be getting a few more people knocking on your door about automation with the, because last 3 years hiring people has been terrible.
Yeah, it's been a big increase for sure. I mean, just in the last 6 months, we've had 4 signings, so it's been
Really?
pretty huge.
Do you guys work a lot locally, or do you have interstate, international
We have
clients?
a lot of,
Senor JD,
Yeah.
your automation supplier is here.
What? All right,
Your current supplier is here.
Oh, my current supplier's here?
Yes, sir. For your meeting. You have a meeting with your automation supplier. They're waiting for you.
Perfect. Well, I'll send Austin out of here then. Hey, Austin, appreciate your time. I don't know if there's anything else that.
that walkthrough. Would it work if I just pop back in next week, same time?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, it sounds like it wouldn't be too big a deal. I don't need to shut down the warehouse or anything. We can
No.
walk through while they're working, right?
No,
Yeah,
we can.
let's set something up next week then to do the walkthrough and talk a little more about how this would help, and maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can at least get that return on investment thing done and make some decisions on that.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
All right, Austin, appreciate it.
Good to see you.
You too. Have a good day.
You too.
You didn't tell me how long it was supposed to last.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Tell me you to be meaner.
Stop the recording. Did you stop the recording?
Huh? That's-
You want me to stop it? Yeah, stop it.
Yes. So stop it and